Welcome to the Beautiful View podcast, where we encourage you to look for opportunities in your life to see a beautiful view. I'm Candy.
And I'm Paul. This episode kicks off our third season of the podcast and is our 50th episode. Wow. Can you believe that?
I can't believe that. When we first started this podcast back in the summer of 2023, we had no idea if anyone, aside from maybe my mom, was ever going to even listen to it. We originally planned to do, I think, 3 pilot episodes, something
just
like
to see how it
just
went.
to kind of put our toes in the water.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of really great feedback.
We did, yeah.
Thank you to those of you who encouraged us along the way. We just kept going, and I think we just kind of kept getting a little bit better about what we did, and here we are.
Here we are again. So today we're going to reintroduce ourselves, and because we picked up a lot of new listeners and viewers since that very first primitive episode that we recorded.
It was primitive. I pulled it up to listen to it the other day, and I was just like,
it's a little bit cringeworthy.
We hadn't quite found our voices yet, I don't think, in that episode.
It was different music.
If you want something like to entertain you, kind of a little comical, and go take a listen. But
yeah, so we decided that this episode, what we needed to do was kind of go back before we start another season, begin by going back and kind of thinking about like what this podcast is about. So what is the purpose behind the podcast?
Yeah.
Why did we start doing this? Why are we here talking to you guys again? Like, what is this all about?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do this time around. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful view.
We could climb a mighty mountain, float on down a winding river, travel back in time and face our future too. I'm not scared of where I'm going, 'cause I know whose hands I'm holding. Oh, I'd go anywhere as long as you're going to. Well, I'd go anywhere as long as I'm with you.
Hello again from our brand new podcast studio.
Yep, studio.
Yeah. Yeah, when Emily moved out in the early summer, we ended up with a spare bedroom in our house.
We did. So that means we do not have to set this all up in our living room.
Yes.
And kind of like trip over everything all weekend long while we get the podcast recorded, and then have to pack it all up and start again the following weekend. So
correct. Yes.
We have a space and we can leave all this stuff set up. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. So nice.
Yeah.
So in this episode, we thought, as Paul mentioned before, we have a lot of new followers.
Yes.
So we wanted to kind of do kind of a reintroduction to us and kind of,
seems right?
Yeah. I mean, episode 50, that seems a little bit kind of monumental. So
a marker along the road, at least.
Yeah. So we have the whole reason that we kind of started this podcast is because we have a crazy story.
Yes.
And people always ask us about our story.
They do.
So,
we get to share with people all the time.
Yes.
And what usually starts the conversation is something along the lines of, you're not from around here, are you?
Yeah. For both of us. We're both kind of like...
Now we're in Iowa, it's for both of us.
Yes, absolutely.
So I have the British accent going on.
Yep.
Candy has the Texas drawl going on.
Yep.
And so that's always a conversation starter. And really that's the beginning of our story together is that we met from across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yep.
Via MSN chat.
Yep.
Now
way back in the early days of
the internet,
even like internet kind of stuff.
So 2001 is when we first met online, and we got to know each other just purely through that through the MSN chat, through conversations.
Yeah.
So that was a really neat thing, is because we actually got to know each other before we met in person.
We did, yeah. We talked for probably about a year online before we actually met in person, and then
I feel like we knew each other pretty well by the time we met.
I think so.
And so that
we were kind of pioneers in the online dating world.
we always say it worked for us. We wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it worked for us. So that's kind of where we came from. And then we both started serving in church together. Eventually, both going on to a full-time staff at a church. You were working children's ministry, and I was working doing set design and media content. So everything that we now do in our own business.
Right.
So we did that for 12 years.
Yep.
And we're hop, skipping, and jumping here. So we did that for 12 years.
We're giving you the cliff notes.
and then after that experience, we decided we needed to spend a lot more time together as a family.
Right. Yeah. So then we decided, both of us kind of separately and then together decided that we were going to purchase a truck and a fifth wheel, and we were going to full-time RV.
Yes.
So
Hit the road.
So that is what we did as a family back in 2015. And we traveled the country, north, south, east, west, all over for 6.5 years. And on our travels, we worked remotely. We homeschooled the kids. The kids got a very kind of unique, really
just
interesting education.
Big perspective of life and this country. And so a lot of their classes were taught in the places where it happened. So their history classes were right where it happened. So it was more of an experiential learning program for them.
Right. Yeah. No, it was super cool. We loved our time on the road. But then on our travels, we discovered Bellevue, Iowa.
Yeah, in 2018.
Yeah. So, and we loved it so much that we started coming back. We came back every summer after that first.
And missed it when we were gone.
We did. Yeah, we really did. And we made so many friends here, and we just couldn't wait to get back every time we left. So in 2021, we had a seasonal site at a local campground, and this house came on the market right at the end of our season.
Yes, it did.
And we stayed a few extra days, and we came and looked at the house. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Put an offer in on it, and then the rest is history. Here we are. So we moved here officially in December of 2021. So here we are.
We haven't looked back. That was one of the best decisions we've ever made. We love it here. Was to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
So let's talk about why we decided to start this podcast in the first place.
Yeah, I think it made sense. So we wanted to tell our story, and we have in the past. We kept a blog, which you can still go check out online, ourmovinghouse.com.
Yeah, we did that while we traveled, though. So then once we got the house, it didn't really make sense. Our house doesn't move anymore.
Our static house?
Yeah. What do you change that to?
Yeah. So as we've already mentioned, in ministry, working at a church, we were both involved in broadcasting services and so on. So we were involved in videography, all of the audio work, content, and so we have experience in that area. We have all the equipment with us. We already do this for our clients in our business.
Yeah.
And so we just felt like, you know what, rather than write a book or do something like that, this just makes more sense.
Yeah. And I mean, that's always what we get as soon as people hear our story, they're like, oh, you should write a book.
You should write a book.
You have such an interesting story. You should write a book. Well, a podcast is maybe a little easier than a book because it's like little bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, it's easier to digest, and it's kind of the thing that is very popular right now anyway. So we decided this is something that we can easily do and include in our schedule.
And it reaches a little different audience, I think, than our blog did.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
And the blog is still interesting. It's still relevant. And I know that we still get lots of hits on it because I get the monthly report and I'm like, wow, people really still read our blog. It's really interesting. But, I mean, above all, I think we love to share our story. We love to share our journey through life.
Yeah.
We love to give hope to people. And ultimately, we love to encourage and inspire other people.
And that's at the core of this podcast. It's the core of everything we do as a family. We've made a lot of changes in our lives. We have done some things that didn't necessarily work out the way that we thought they would.
Yeah.
And so we really want to, and many people go through this.
Sure.
You go through phases of life where, just as simple as a career change. I mean, there's very few people that stay in the same career their entire lives now.
Sure. Yeah.
And so this is very relatable. It's like what happens when you find that the position you're in or the things that you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing, but then you're not sure what's next.
Yeah.
Like, how do you cope with that sort of in between where you're trying to discover where you're supposed to be? We all want our lives to make sense and have impact and be meaningful for other people. So that's kind of how we've led our lives. And if we can do or say something that encourages someone else to really live their lives on purpose, and to do something that makes an impact on their community and their friends and family, then we've done our job.
We've done our job, exactly. And we get asked all the time, how did you come up with your podcast name, Beautiful View?
Pretty easy.
Like, why did you call it that? And honestly, like when we first started talking about doing a podcast, it was kind of like we threw around some ideas and stuff. But then as soon as we said
Beautiful View,
it was like that was obvious. So we live in Bellevue, which means beautiful view.
That's what it means.
And we do have a beautiful view here.
Oh, there's so many beautiful views around this town. Unbelievable.
It is amazing.
Right in the Mississippi Valley. So you got the bluffs around here, where you can get some aerial views of the whole town and the Mississippi River coming through. It is just absolutely gorgeous here. And if you get an opportunity, if you're not here in town, and you get an opportunity to visit, please do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've also had many beautiful views along our travels.
Yes,
so,
seen a lot of
we've
cool
seen
things.
a lot of really cool things. So in some of our episodes, we've talked previously about some of those places we visited and some of our favorites and stuff.
Yep.
But you know what? We also recognize that there is beauty in sharing your story.
There is.
Your testimony. Anytime that you share your story, you have the potential to touch someone's heart. So that's kind of a big part of it. And also, if you look hard enough, it doesn't matter what you're going through.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough, you can always find beauty.
Yes.
It's just sometimes you have to look a little harder than other times, and we've been through all of those times, and we've been able to share some of those through our podcast too, where we've walked through the valleys, but still seeing the beauty in the situation. So that's really important to us to share as well, because, sometimes life isn't ideal.
It isn't beautiful.
Sometimes it doesn't feel beautiful.
It seems like it's not beautiful,
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel beautiful, but you can find beautiful moments in any situation. So that is our main thing that we want to get across. So
I'm just recalling there was one time when we were on the road, we were living in the RV, and we were camped out at San Angelo State Park. And I was on my way back from kind of a difficult weekend or a couple of days in the Permian Basin where I was doing some work. And as I was driving back down the road and like wondering what the heck was going to be next, I suddenly became aware of the power poles beside the street, beside the highway, going past. And every one of them, as it went by, was a cross. Yeah. Every single one. And I took a picture and I sent it to you, and you said something along the lines of that. You know why you saw that? That's because you're looking at it with a different perspective.
Right.
So that's really what this podcast is about. It's about trying really hard in sometimes some circumstances that just suck to find something in there that is beautiful, whether it's someone else's kind words, or something about the situation that makes you look at it with a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about where this podcast journey has taken us so far. It's been a little over 2 years now, 50 episodes, 2 years.
Yeah, that just seems so crazy to me, because I remember when we very first were even talking about this, we were on a walk. Do you remember when we took our morning walks and we were talking about, what would we talk about? What would we,
Yeah.
You know, how would we come up with material? Would we talk about our travels? Would we talk about life? What
Yeah.
would we talk about? How would we do all those things? And the way it's kind of shaped up is, yes, we have talked about some of that stuff, but I feel like we've kind of been sharing our lives as it's happened.
Yeah.
So last summer, if you're new to the podcast, my mom got sick and she passed away last summer. And we still podcasted through all of that.
Yeah, we did.
And we, through that very, very difficult time for us, we still were looking for the beautiful views in all of our circumstances. And we carried on podcasting. So I think that was actually kind of therapeutic a little bit. And it helped us process a little bit.
And also, if we hadn't have continued to podcast through difficult times and looked for the beauty in those circumstances, as nasty and as they were, then that's kind of being a little hypocritical.
Yeah.
You know,
that's our whole thing that we kind of, you know.
Yeah, and then there was, you know, we lost Tyler Hendricks, who was Tyler and Kelsey composed the music that you hear every time on our podcast. That was about a time where we were like, okay, we have got to take some time just to process this.
Yeah.
And especially going back to edit the podcast and listening to him and Kelsey singing again during the edit. It was a very tough time. Now, in his celebration of life, there was plenty to celebrate and a lot of beauty in the people that were there. So that was good. But I mean, through a lot of difficult situations, we stayed true to our word that we were going to keep this podcast going. Yeah. And so here we are. We're back again, season 3.
Yep. And last year, we were part of the 2024 Iowa Podcast Awards, we won an award, which was crazy.
Which is really cool.
So it was super cool.
Yeah, and that gave us like a real boost. Like, okay, so what we're doing isn't just like something.
It's not just made up in our heads.
It's not made up in our things. It's actually something that people like and enjoy. So that was good.
Yeah, I think that brings us to, like, I mean, it's built confidence in both of us.
It has.
You know, so there was a day where, you know, if you had said, let's do a podcast, there was a day where you said, we should do a podcast. And that's back when we were on the road.
Yeah.
And neither one of us were very mentally healthy at that point. No. So there's no way we could have done this.
No.
But I think over time of doing it, like, both of us have gained confidence through this.
There was so many people that traveled alongside us and others that we'd never met who full-time RV'd. And they had YouTube channels or podcasts or blogs or whatever, and we were like, well, that's kind of the thing to do, right? But we tried a couple times. I tried filming myself doing some, like, you know, how-to videos for RV, and it just we wouldn't want to subject you to any of that stuff. But it just didn't feel like a fit. But now we've done this for a couple of years, and this kind of, it not only fits us, but it's a more honest approach to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
I think something surprising to me that has come out of this experience is that we have learned more about each other, and it has ultimately strengthened our marriage.
Yeah.
Which I find that really interesting. And I think how that's happened is by choosing topics. We're kind of forced to talk about things that we probably wouldn't, under normal circumstances, ever talk about.
No, we wouldn't. And I know that there's a couple of topics that you've picked, and I've looked at it, and I'm like, okay, should I be concerned? But then as we've gotten to discuss those things in order to prepare the material for you guys, and to make it make sense so that we can actually talk to you, it then came to make sense to me. And I'm like, okay, and now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it's been like 2 months since we last did a podcast. And thank you, by the way. Thank you for being patient with us and allowing us some time to kind of reflect and regroup and be ready for a new season. But there have been times where I've missed it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, because sitting down here with you and talking through things is kind of an anchor point for our marriage, as well as being,
Yeah, it really is, because it's like a planned date where we have to talk.
we have to talk.
And we're doing it in front of you.
We have to make sense. So, so that's been a great thing for us.
Yeah.
And also, along the way, we have made some new friends.
Yes, we have.
Something that's really stretched us is doing some interviews.
Oh, yes.
And there's some funny stories in there that we might talk about at some point. But we've made new friends along the way. People that have come up to us, even here in town, and they've said, "Hi, I just wanted to say hi. We've been listening to your podcast," and it's like, okay, all right. So
I had a lady last night come up to me at the brewery and just say, "Oh, you're the podcast people."
The podcast people.
Yeah, I'm the podcast people.
So it's been a good opportunity to talk to others, and also it means that we're living our faith out loud.
Yeah.
People know that our lives are devoted to what we have faith in, which is God, and everything that He has guided us to do.
So let's talk about where we're going from here.
Yeah, so we have a new season of episodes. Not quite sure how many episodes we're going to do in a season, maybe 10. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about some different topics.
Yeah.
And
we kind of brainstormed a little bit on our trip, our really long trip down to the Gulf of
20-hour drive.
Texas. 20 hours one way. So we had 40 hours of drive time. So
we got some stuff that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
We're hoping to do some more interviews with people that have beautiful stories, and we've got some people in mind that, man, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously, we still are gonna do relationship advice.
Yes.
So we benefit from that, and so we hope that you also benefit from that.
That's
so
the
we've got
hope.
some more of that kind of stuff coming.
Yeah, and we want to encourage you if you're parenting. And just encourage you along the way as you raise your kids. It's a difficult time and a difficult world to bring up kids in. And so any encouragement that we can give you, we want to do that.
Yeah. And obviously, like real talk about life as we experience it. We always like to throw our life experiences in and
be honest and
we're
share.
pretty much an open book. So
yes.
We love to share our lives with you.
And we always have a faith aspect. So as we wrap up each episode, we like to go back to Scripture and just encourage you with some of those timeless truths that there are in the Bible.
Yeah. Today we want to leave you with a thought.
Yes, we do. Speaking of Scripture, this is our family's verse and has been for a long time. Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take."
Yes.
I love that.
I do too. And at the end of the day, none of us know what tomorrow holds.
No.
When we began this podcast, we didn't know where it was going.
No.
We didn't know what life was going to throw at us, how we would grow in our marriage, or how many new friends we would make along the way. We had no clue what we were doing.
No, we didn't.
But God knew.
Yes.
And we trusted Him. We didn't lean on our own understanding and self-doubt.
Yeah.
We sought His will, and He led us down this path.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add in, like, the path is most of the time not what we expect.
That's true.
I was working with a guy the other day, and he said, God can give us one of three answers to everything that we ask of Him. And I said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah. He said, it's either yes or no. Or he said the third more interesting answer is, I have other plans for you. Mm-hmm. And that's really where we found ourselves. You know, it's about just trusting in Him. Mm-hmm. And being obedient in what He gives to us, which oftentimes doesn't seem like a whole answer. It's like, just do this thing here and this thing here and this thing here. And then it develops into something that you would never expect. And we have seen that over and over again.
Absolutely.
So that is today's Beautiful View. Mm-hmm. We are so excited to kick off Season 3 of the Beautiful View podcast.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. Our hope is to always inspire and encourage our listeners.
Yes.
We enjoyed our break over the summer. Again, thank you for understanding. It has given us a chance to come up with some new ideas to share with you. And we look forward so much to this new season of life and the Beautiful View podcast.
Yes, and if you like what we do here at the Beautiful View podcast, you can show your appreciation by becoming a supporting member for only $5 a month. Mm-hmm. We'll send you a members-only Beautiful View podcast sticker and a weekly encouraging newsletter to your inbox. Your support helps cover our production costs. The link to sign up is in our show notes.
Yeah, and also be sure to check out our merch store.
Yes.
We've added a few new items for fall, winter, upcoming season.
Yep. And as we conclude each podcast, we always like to give you the topic for the next one. So what are we going to be talking about next time?
Well, we are calling the next episode Lessons from the Beach.
Okay.
We're going to share a little bit about our annual summer family vacation to the beach.
Yeah.
And share some of the things that we can all learn from the beach.
Okay. Beach trips are always a great time, and it was good to just be able to disconnect from our usual routine and reconnect with our family. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering what you might have in mind for that one.
Well, you'll just have to tune in next time to find out.
I'll be right here, sitting right here.
Okay. Well, it'll be an interesting conversation.
Yes.
Thank you once again for joining us today. We hope you have a great day. And remember to always keep an eye open for opportunities in life to see a beautiful view.
Yes.
We could climb a mighty mountain, float on down a winding river, travel back in time and face our future too. Oh, I'm not scared of where I'm going, 'cause I know whose hands I'm holding. Oh, I'd go anywhere as long as you're going too. I'd go anywhere as long as I'm with you. Yeah, I'd go